Who's your least favorite person you've ever met from Bachelor Nation?
I don't want to name names.
Well, then you got to Toke.
Okay, fine.
Woo!
Will this get me really baked?
Not even at all. Because I'm just not stoned at all. And I've been smoking it up all morning.
I think you are a little stoned.
Am I?
Yes. Are you satiated?
I am. I was going to do this. I'm going to do weed etiquette.
Oh.
Are you okay if I smoke during? Like, even if the smoke drifts over there? Okay. I mean, some people aren't.
I used to smoke a lot of weed.
Okay.
We're going to make Well smoke today.
Are
No,
we?
We are not.
You said.
No. Well,
you said
I'm
you would
gonna
smoke with Tish.
start the show. Don't ruin all this
Okay.
stuff, but I'm going to tell you why I can't do it.
Wells
Oh,
Adams.
maybe I do know. Okay. Guys, Wells is here on Sorry We're Stoned.
Well.
Yay!
We drug him over here.
It's about damn time.
I know.
I know. And by the way, I don't know if I get credit for this, but I'm the one who came up with the name of this show.
What
Is
do you
that
mean?
true?
Yeah, I remember we were doing our show,
Yeah.
Okay.
and you were talking to me about why it was going to be difficult doing the show with Tish because she was
gets so high?
stoned all the time. And I think I said something like, sorry for partying, sorry for smoking, sorry for being stoned.
Oh.
And then you started laughing.
Huh.
I need
It's
to
funny
go-
how I have no memory
I
of
know.
this.
Yeah, I know. And you don't even smoke weed.
Not at
No.
all.
I need to go back and find that episode because I remember saying that needs to be the name of your show.
That I have a vague memory
Yeah.
of, actually.
That's what.
Do you remember-
Although,
Did I come home and say, like, it's got to be sorry? I can't remember.
I can't either, but I'm always like, did we make a mistake? Should it have been sorry she's stoned?
Okay, so I remember like spitballing the idea for this show, and I was like, it'd be really funny if everyone came on and got stoned with you.
That's the idea.
Yeah, okay.
But not everybody wants to smoke on camera.
For sure. I understand.
Apparently you don't either, which is really just a damper on the episode. But
yeah,
can
I
you carry
was
on?
willing to get stoned for this until like last week.
Oh, I could see. Listen, a lot of people have like, everybody's like, you know what? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I would, but I just can't do it because of the sorry we're stoned because of my brand. And I'm
my
like,
brand.
Oh, I don't care about my brand.
And she
Oh.
says,
It's
my
not-
brand,
I said,
weed is my brand.
weed is my brand.
Yeah, and it's a good business to be in right now, especially in California.
Yeah.
True.
Well, so
Okay, wait. Can I like give you a proper intro before we just really just
sorry.
take off
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
I mean, like everybody knows Wells Adams, right? Like we all know Wellsy. But if you happen to not know Wells and I have another podcast called Your Favorite Thing. I want to say we were like the grandfather of podcasts. I mean, we had a podcast before everybody
well,
had
we had a radio
podcast.
show.
You
first.
had a radio
Yes,
show.
I had a radio show, and I brought Brandi on my
Yeah.
radio show
I
in Nashville.
do remember that.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Wells has done radio for how many years? Like 12?
Well, I started when I was 16. My first radio show was when I was 16, and then I went to college for that. And then I think the first time I was paid for it was in 2007 or 8 in Nashville at
Okay.
a station called Lightning 100, which
Ooh.
is still alive and kicking WRLT. If you're in Nashville, you should listen to it. It's a great station. Then I move over to iHeart.
Yes, I remember that move.
And I was doing an alt morning show for iHeart, and then I was doing afternoons on classic rock, and then I was doing nights on CHR, which is pop, which is like, I was playing your sister a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I remember I was trying to get a show syndicated at iHeart, and I was like, Brandi's coming on my show, and I was sending the air checks to like the Bobs at iHeart and trying to get this show syndicated. And they wouldn't freaking syndicate the show, which I thought was ridiculous. Because I was like, I'm on this ridiculous reality show that like is like this huge cultural phenomenon.
But it wasn't out when we first started talking about the
For
show.
sure, but we knew it was
I
coming
know,
out.
I know.
And then I was like, and I've got the sister of the biggest pop star in the world and the
True.
daughter of like a huge country star. How does this show not sell?
And I'm a damn good host.
And you were great. Yeah.
You know,
And we
I
would
mean,
do nights together, and it was fun. And they didn't pick it up. And I remember
know.
being like, well, let's just do this as a podcast. Like, let's just keep doing this. Screw them.
mhm.
And I remember I offered to sell the show to them when I was in Nashville, and they turned it down. And then like 5 years later, they were like, hey, we'd love to buy this show. And I was like,
Nah,
you ain't got enough money.
that's right.
Seriously.
I know.
Honestly, though, we were kind of talking about this morning. I don't know if you were in there. I think there's just so much luck involved.
Mm.
For sure.
I mean, somebody big. Oh, I was talking about Wells.
No,
this
yeah, she
morning.
was talking about you.
I was like, for me, you are Ron Seacrest.
No.
And like you just have it. You've always had it. Like just like you to me should be Ron Seacrest.
I don't have the luck like Ryan has.
That's what I'm saying. I think a lot of it is luck. There are so many talented people, so many good, so many this, and everything can be right, and it's just so crazy.
Yeah.
It really is a lot of luck.
It is.
Even, we just did Call Her Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex was telling me she's like from some very small town. I think she said in
somewhere on the East Coast.
Philadelphia, somewhere like that. And just grew up so normal and whatever. Started doing this and biggest podcast ever. What?
I wish we had done it earlier. I
I know.
remember everyone was telling me you need to do a podcast. And at the time I had 3 radio shows. And at the time I was like, that's beneath me. I have 3 like terrestrial radio shows on iHeart, and you want me to do a podcast? Like anyone can do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I like balked at it for like a year, and then finally I was like, okay, let's do it. Because if we had done it like in the beginning when people told me to, we probably would be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's people who started early, like Joe Rogan,
I
Call Her Daddy.
know.
All the people that did it early got a huge following.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like too, though, with you, like the Ryan Seacrest of it all, he's a TV host.
Yes.
And TV's kind of dying.
I'm-
So it's like for Wells, like if Wells had started doing the TV hosting 10 years before he did,
Yes.
I do think you would be the next Ryan Seacrest. But the problem is there's not enough shows for the next Ryan Seacrest. Like there's not enough TV. It's not.
Although I do think there are always going to be places for that, even like American Idol. If it's not going to be on ABC, it's going to end up being on a streamer.
Yeah.
There's
I know.
always going to be that. But it's so funny you said it like you felt like it was beneath you, because I remember I was talking to an agent that does film and TV, and some of her biggest clients, right when everything was like Netflix was starting and all of this, she was trying to get them to start moving into that direction, because film obviously, and it's a dying breed. And all of them would say, I'm not doing TV.
Oh, I know.
That is like, are you joking? I am a film star. Now, guess what?
Everybody wants
All
to
of them
do
are on
TV.
TV
Oh, yeah.
and
Meryl
begging for
Streep's
it.
doing, limited series.
Like they all are.
Yeah.
It is wild.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
So things like you got to change. You gotta
You
be
gotta evolve.
change
with
means
the
grow.
times.
I
I
do
agree.
need like the industry though to start buying TV shows
Mm.
again, because no one's buying anything right now, and it's like, hey, we had the pandemic, then we had the strike.
I
Okay,
know.
guys, let's start making some stuff.
Well, I've sold a lot.
Can you sell one with me
Um,
attached to it?
Well, I have several.
I've sold a lot.
No,
she's
but
nuts.
that doesn't mean they're going to get on the air.
Right.
That's true.
Absolutely not.
That I feel like even just selling it's not
Yeah.
even really a win at all. Like
Yeah.
how many times have you sold something and it's never seen the light of day?
Me?
Yeah.
So much.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
selling it's not even the
Yeah.
win
No.
anymore, you know?
So exactly. Like everybody's like, you sold it. I'm like, that doesn't mean crap.
Yeah.
But it does feel really good and I'm excited. But you're right. Please, let's get back to it.
Uh-huh.
I'm also just getting bored with what I'm watching. Like,
Yeah.
we're just running out of inventory, and I'm like, okay. And so now I'm like globbing onto these like bad documentaries, which are good, but it's like such trash,
Such trash.
What's
So-
the freaking Natalia Grace? You're
Have
not
you
watching
seen
that, are
The
No.
Curious Case of Natalia Grace?
No.
Okay, everyone needs to watch this show. It
He's
is the
obsessed.
It is the most insane show I've ever seen in my entire life, and I'm not even sure if it's real or not. And I think that's why I like it, because I'm like, are these?
What is it?
Okay, so do you remember the movie The Orphan?
Yes, I didn't.
You
watch
never
it
saw
'cause
that
That's
for sure,
scary.
yeah.
So the plot is that this family adopts this little girl, and then it turns out that she's like a 30-year-old with like some sort of like weird growing disease, and she becomes like a murderer, and like she tries to kill the family
This
and
is
like take their money. I
terrifying.
know. So there's a story about this family who had 3 boys who adopt this this girl with dwarfism. She's a little person
Okay.
from Ukraine. She's 6 years old. So they bring her home, and they are like, we don't think that she's 6. We think that she's older, because she's like developed in certain ways, and she's like speak really well, and like doesn't know any Ukrainian, and
This is
And they
And
say
it-
they spin it like it's a true story. right?
For sure, it's
Yeah.
a documentary, and
Yeah,
and they're
documentary.
and like they're like one day we woke up and she was at the foot of our bed holding a knife, and they found knives under her bed, and they go to this like one farm where they like milk cows.
That's the scariest part because I have really like visions of one of my children just standing over my
Yeah.
bed going.
Which one would it be?
I don't know. It
Which
depends
one?
on
Obviously not
It depends on which
me.
year,
Yeah.
which time.
So you're like, oh my God, this little girl is not a little girl, and she's like trying to kill these people. And then like the next episode's like from her voice, and it's like, these people were so mean to me,
Okay.
they beat me. And then you're like, now the parents
These
are
are
terrible.
my favorite kind of shows
Oh, it's
where
the
they do
best.
the back and forth.
Okay, so you're like, I don't know, and the dad's crazy, and you never hear from the mom. And then the next season is Natalia Speaks, and it's all just like she gets adopted by this new family. They change her age from 6 to 22 years old. They're like, you're an adult now. They put her in an apartment. She's a little person in an apartment. It's like a 6-story walk up. It's like the most horrible thing in the world, and you're like, these parents are horrible. And then all of a sudden it turns.
He's invested.
And she goes to like a psych ward, and then all the nurses are like, she's a sociopath. You don't know what to believe.
This
And the
terrifies
whole
me.
time I'm like, I think this is satire. Like, I think these are actors. Like, this can't be real. And all I have to say is so there is some closure at the last episode of season 2. You're
Don't
like,
ruin it.
I know, you're like, this is me. I'm good at teasing. All right. So you're like, okay, there's some closure. Thank God. And the last 20 seconds completely changes everything. And then they're like, season 3 coming in the fall.
I
And you're
bet
like, yes!
this isn't real.
Okay, so it reminds me. Did you ever watch The Fifth Kind?
No.
It was like a horror movie back in the day. I mean, I was probably like early 20s when it came out. And it's terrifying, but
Yeah.
it's spun as like a true story. Like it's a movie, but the way they shoot it is like, here's the actors doing it, and then here's the interview of the real person. And they
Yeah.
play them both.
Ooh.
And it's fucking terrifying. And it's set in Alaska, and it's about all these disappearances. And you're like, are they getting kidnapped? Are they dying? Is it demonic possession? Is it aliens? Like you wonder, and it's a very scary movie.
Yeah.
And I literally had nightmares for like a year over it. And then a year later, it came out that none of it was true.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah.
even the
That's like Blair
interviews.
Witch.
Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, but Blair Witch, like this was, Blair Witch wasn't like side by side though, was it? Where it was like, here's the actor, here's the real person.
Well, that's what they tried to present it as. Like it was found footage and.
I remember that. This is just Fifth Kind was different.
Okay.
It was very weird.
Do
like,
we need to watch it?
You
I
guys
don't
need to
know.
watch the Curious Grace and Natalia Grace.
Oh,
and
I'm
then,
all that
watching
to
that.
I'm telling
say,
you.
they can tell you it's like, oh yeah, true story, documentary. It might not be.
well, so Sarah believes it's real because we'll look it up and there's like them on like Good Morning America and like all this stuff. And so it's like,
the real them.
yes. And you're like, okay, so maybe it's real, but then it's like also that's what if I was wanting to make a fake thing, I would totally do that and be like, hey, Good Morning America, I'm
Oh,
gonna pay you
that's true.
$10,000 to do a
Totally.
fake thing.
True.
Whatever. And then the other one that's trash that you guys got to watch is American Nightmare. Have you seen that one?
No.
No.
Ooh, that one's on Netflix.
Okay.
By the way, I'm like doing our entire show.
Oh yeah, we were gonna do this at the end of the episode, but here it is.
Whatever.
It's our
Off
off limits.
Yeah. American Nightmare is an insane story. So do you remember the movie Gone Girl?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Loved.
great book as well, right?
Better
Love.
book, but yeah,
so
great movie.
it's just like that. So it opens with this guy calling 911. He's like, "Hey, my girlfriend was kidnapped last night. I need help." And so the operator is like, "Why didn't you call us last night?" And he's like, "Well, I've been tied up and they drugged me." And so the cops come and she's kidnapped. The cops are like, "You killed your girlfriend." Like, come on, let's be realistic.
Wait, is anybody notable in this?
No, these are just like real people.
Oh, it's a
It's a
documentary.
documentary. Yeah.
Oh.
And the cops are like, "Dude, you did this." And he's like, "I didn't do this. I don't know. I'm telling you the truth." And he's like, they put goggles, like swim goggles with like blackout on it. So I couldn't see anything. They gave me like NyQuil and like a shot. And they're like, "No, this didn't happen." And then 40 hours later, she shows up 400 miles away, just like in Gone Girl, right? Remember, she comes back like all
Yeah.
blood.
Oh my god.
And she's like, "I was kidnapped." The cops don't believe her. So then you're like, did she make this all up to like get back at the boyfriend because he was like still talking with the ex?
oh, I feel like yeah.
You need to watch it because the
I'm
ending is
dead.
even worse
This
than
sounds
what
like
you
my
think
favorite.
it is. I'm telling you,
Is that American Nightmare?
American Nightmare. That's on Netflix. And then Curious Case of Natalia Grace is on HBO. I'm telling you, Curious Case of Natalia Grace is
Curious
better.
Case.
Really?
Curious Case, Natalia Grace. I get so excited I talk too fast.
I know you are pumped about this.
Okay, so let's. Do you and Sarah watch all of this together?
Yes. Okay. So I'm only. She's gonna get mad at me, but it's true. I really only can watch the news without her there, because if I watch anything else, she gets upset and she's like, "You have to wait for me." So I only watch the news, and then everything else we watch together.
That
Isn't
is
that hilarious?
so cute.
Because she and Dob do the exact opposite.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Oh,
in her
really?
room watching what she wants, and he's in the living room watching what he wants. They don't watch anything together hardly ever.
Oh, I watch golf by myself too,
yeah.
and like sporting events. But like, okay, so what does Dom watch that you don't watch, and vice versa?
Sports.
Yeah,
Sports and documentaries, like
Yeah.
but weird documentaries.
He loves documentaries, and
You like some of them, but
I like some of them, but
she likes a love story.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm always watching. Like what I was gonna say is, I absolutely love when they give two different perspectives from different people.
Yeah.
Because I always say, this is something we can talk about. I think there's a show in, people. I don't know what the show is. All I know is when you hear perspectives from like a husband and a wife, like why did you all get divorced?
They're always
Whatever.
different.
They're always different.
Yeah.
Everybody perceives things in different ways. And I find that so interesting. And so there's an older show called The Affair that I love.
Mhm.
And it's always his perspective and his wife's perspective, or his and his mistress's perspective.
Mm.
So good.
Well, what's the saying? Like, there's two sides to every story, and then there's the truth.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
Mm.
but I always love that because I'm like, I'm always like, oh my God, he's blah, blah, blah. And then it's her perspective. And I'm like,
I know.
like, it's like a drastic difference.
No, it is. I'll never forget. I had one ex-boyfriend. We got in an argument, and we like did the whole like went all day like together, but not really talking to each other.
Oh, I hate
And at the end of the day, I was just like, okay, like I can't do this. Like, why are you mad at me? Like, I knew he was mad, but like he wasn't saying it. And so he finally said, because you said, I can't remember what it was, but he heard me say a certain thing. And I was like, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you did. And I was like, no, I said da-da-da-da-da. But he heard a completely different thing. And like, I think that happens a lot where like people just interpret things and hear things so differently.
They really do.
And everybody does have a different story. It's just so crazy.
I know.
And like a lot of times I think you hear what you want to hear or what you don't want to hear. I don't know. It's just fascinating to me. But that was like a big wake up call to me when he kept saying that. He was like, no, you said da-da-da-da. And I was like, I did not say that.
Yeah, I think that
But he
happens
was
a lot.
convinced. And so like at the time we decided like, all right, like let's just like truce. Like I heard this, you thought this, like whatever, but like let's just move on.
Yeah.
It's like those commercials where they like throw the red flag and watch the replay. I wish that was real life.
I know.
That's so true.
I know.
We need that.
We do.
Yeah.
One day it'll happen.
Although it would probably destroy everybody,
that's
honestly.
true.
I don't know. Well, if you guys liked all that, that's what we do on YFT.
Yeah, it's about our favorite things.
Yeah, that's our other podcast. So if you guys like hearing Wells get excited about the TV shows he's watching and tell you all about it without ruining it, then listen to your favorite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
love.
you guys seriously need to watch The Curious Case.
Oh, I'm so exhausted from this entire week. I plan on after today getting in my bed and not coming out until like Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this will be great.
All right, great. All right. So when are you going to tell us why you're not smoking weed?
Okay. So, I have trouble sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to smoke a lot of weed, like in high school and in college. I grew up in California, so like,
Yeah.
I dabbled. But once I like became a radio host and like I had to be on all the time, I stopped doing it because I would get like super anxious, right? So I really don't smoke weed. The only time you'll really ever see me smoke weed is if like I'm like really drunk and I'm like at a party or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll try. And which in that case it doesn't really affect me. But I have trouble sleeping, and so I've been taking like Unisom a lot because you told me about that.
Fucking love
She
you.
loves it.
And I was like, I don't know if this is good for me.
Well, you shouldn't take it all the time.
I take every night.
Well,
Every night with
that's like the
magnesium.
first
and
thing I preface is like
I know.
Unisom is great, but
But
like not meant to be taken every night.
I need to sleep every night.
I
though.
know. Honestly, sometimes I think like not sleeping is one of the worst things for your body.
Yeah.
If you need to pop a little bit of a chemical to get there, then go for
every
it.
night.
My mother did it for years.
I
and
know.
she took about 25 every single night.
but
and
she was out of her mind.
No, she was
Yeah,
not.
Mom, towards the end, she was a little nuts.
Well,
Love Mammy
she
more than
was
anything.
82.
I'm
no,
just
84.
saying. thing. She was very disoriented.
Well, I have one of those Aura rings that like tracks your sleep, and like it for sure is like you didn't sleep last night. Don't work out today. You're gonna be a piece of trash. And then I'll take Eunice. So I'm gonna be like, you're gonna be great today. Go for it. So
that's sick.
Yeah. So I got some like sleepy time weed gummies, right?
Yes. Oh, the ones.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So there was one that was called, like, I don't even know the names of it, but it was kind of like You're a Little Bitch gummy, which was like 2 grams of THC, right? Tiny, it's like low dose or whatever.
Right.
So it was, I think we were watching football. I took half of it, so 1 gram. And all of a sudden I was in the couch and Sarah was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I just can't move right now. Are you okay? And I'd forgotten that I had taken the weed thing. And she goes, you took half of that little weed gummy. Like, are you okay? And I was like, oh yeah, I am stuck.
I'm dead.
So I was like, weed got a lot different than when I was in high school. So,
oh my God, I take so much. That does not happen.
But you don't eat the gummies.
No.
You smoke it.
Yeah, so
it is a little different.
Okay, I don't know what the gummies are, but it's terrifying. So
I want them immediately.
I almost brought the box over.
You should.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll drop them off
because you can't have any more.
Oh, okay. Let me finish the story. I'm never touching these things again. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a. We had just gotten back from traveling. I was like, I really want a good night's sleep. So I take half of the sleepy time gummy, which is, so it's 10 milligrams, so it's 5 milligrams,
it's a
right?
lot, and you couldn't function on the one.
I know, but I was thinking, I was like, pass out, you know, and like this one's got chamomile in it, so like, you know, and it's got melatonin or something, whatever. So I take half of it. I fall asleep at like 10 o'clock. I shit you not.
Oh, this has happened to me.
I woke up at 12:45 in a full-blown panic attack. And my heart couldn't stop racing. I was like,
this has happened to me.
Oh my God, what is happening? Every decision I'd ever made, I was questioning. I started talking to the dog about politics. I think I lost that argument. I walked around. I was walking around, like pacing myself. And
Did you wake Sarah up?
No. I was like, I left the room. I got to walk around outside. I need to like feel the earth beneath my feet. And this is like 1 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm walking around freaking out. I go back in bed and I can't stop spiraling. And so I was like white knuckling the sheets. And this is a legitimate thing that I was thinking to myself. And then this is how crazy it was. My main concern was that I was going to slip into a different reality, and I was no longer going to be in my original reality.
Oh, and you've got a good one, so
yeah. And I like this reality.
Exactly.
And I was like, "What the fuck did they do to my weed? Because this is not what I smoked like in high school when I was picking seeds out of like a swag bag.
Nope.
What has happened?" So at some point in the middle of the night, Sarah woke up and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like scrolling on my phone. Like, it's like I was trying to not to slip out of this reality. And she's like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, 5 milligram sleepy time gummy. It's way too much.
Oh my, was she dying?
It's like, you're an idiot. Like, turn back over. And so the next morning she was like, what happened? And I was like, I will never do weed again. Ever. I don't know what you guys did to the weed. But this.
But have you smoked it?
It is different to smoke it.
Because smoking it is different than gummies. Gummies are a whole other thing. Because I've had that happen twice.
Yeah.
And like I wanted someone to begged people to take me to the hospital because I just was crawling out of my skin.
Yeah.
And so anxious and like it is just not okay, that feeling. It is like you want it to stop so bad.
Yes.
And it just will not stop for hours.
So you think the gummies are the problem?
Yes, she does. She thinks
that has never ever happened to me smoking, and it's happened twice.
Yeah.
From gummies and an edible.
Want to test it?
No. You don't understand. I made a contract with myself. You know when you get like when you get like really drunk or really hungover and you're like, I'll never drink again.
Yes.
I made that contract with myself.
But you do drink.
Yes, I know. But I can.
But you broke that contract.
I don't think that I'm going to slip into a different timeline when I'm drunk.
That is true.
I think I'm going to slip into the pool. There's two different things. So that's why I will not be partaking
Okay.
smoking weed with you.
Well,
But
we even got the whiz weed over there.
what does that mean?
Wiz Khalifa's weed.
He sent me
Oh
some
yeah, that's what I
weed.
need.
He left it here.
Guarantee you, Wiz Khalifa's shit's crazier than Sleepy Time
This
chamomile.
is it. I'm smoking it right now and I'm doing great.
Khalifa Kush.
This is what I need. I need a dispensary to sell me swag like it used to be. With I gotta pick the seeds out. It's terrible. Like it gets you high for like
You can
15
do
minutes.
that.
Do they have that?
They
I'm
do.
sure.
They
And
got-
it's just a very low THC. You know, it's like mostly CBD with a
Yeah.
teeny top.
That's what I need.
And you know what? And listen to the weed connoisseur.
I
over
know
here.
I'm like,
I'm
we're
like,
the
how do I know
expert.
this? But true. Some people go, it's just CBD,
Yeah.
which is fine if it's an oil or whatever. But when you heat it up, like it is all CBD when you smoke it, has a little bit of THC.
Yeah.
So you could even do, because CBD really does put you to sleep and there's no psychoactive whatever in
Psychedelics.
CBD. So like if you smoked that with like the teeniest smidge of THC, right to sleep.
I'm gonna
No panic.
right to jail. I'm going to stick with my Unisom
Oh, okay.
You know what? But okay, no. Why?
Oh.
Why would you not?
because I sleep on
Because
it.
it's nice,
chemical or
isn't it?
plant?
Okay, Unisom has never made me question my reality
Neither-
and made me have a political
I have
argument with my dog.
Okay, and I love this company, women owned. It's called Miss Grass.
Mhm.
And she makes one that is CBD/THC, and it's like it basically is not, even though it has just the teeniest bit. It's
Yeah.
really CBD.
Okay, maybe I'll try that.
Please.
Maybe.
You have any with you?
Dude,
Oh, yes, because you know what?
no, I'm not doing any
No,
weed.
no.
Just
you
at the
don't have-
very end.
No, you don't have to. But
Are you going to do it?
Sure.
Okay, no, I don't want to do
Yeah,
it.
come on.
Give me a glass of whiskey.
Okay, we'll
At
do
the
that.
very end, we're gonna
But
take
we
a
do
little
have them
puffy.
because guess what? They were my little things, for the wedding.
Oh yeah,
They were on every
Oh,
single
yeah,
table,
yeah.
and it said Tish and Dom and the
Mhm.
date, and
cute.
That's good.
it's good.
Yeah.
It was like
Nice
not,
one,
yeah.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
I'm
You know what I love about Wells?
What?
Is like Wells does the podcast for me. He literally hasn't even seen these cards, and he already knocked out the first section
That's right.
about telling a crazy story about smoking or having an edible experience.
There you go.
Did it without me asking.
What's in the C block?
The C block. Okay, so our producers, I guess, have dubbed you like some sort of like love expert.
Mm,
Ooh.
Fascinating to me, but sure.
Me Dr. Love.
mhm, that one. My dad's a doctor.
So
And you know what kind of doctor he
Oh.
was?
I can be your doctor, but I can be your nurse.
oh god.
That was Miley's song with Pharrell at the Louis show.
Oh,
Oh, I don't really remember that.
my dad was a doctor, love. He was an OBGYN.
Ew.
I know.
Mom.
Well,
Why would
don't-
anyone want to do that?
because he got to bring life into the world.
Probably made some decent money, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got to look vaginas
I
every
know
day.
that's so.
I bet
Yeah.
you see
Why would
some
you wanna do
nasty
that?
vaginas.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so when I go to the gyno personally, like I literally, as I'm driving there, feel like this isn't a joke. I'm like it is kind of funny, but I'm not joking. I think, I mean, like she's gonna do that and like look at like I feel so bad making her do this.
Okay, but see,
But then I think that I bet she has seen. I mean, she's
yeah.
still doing the 75-year-old like.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
That I mean, like there could be all kinds of situations down there,
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yours
just,
is the
and then
best
I
one.
think,
She's gonna see that.
okay,
Yeah.
So I'm doing her a favor.
Yeah,
looking at
yeah,
mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. she's happy about that
She is
one.
like,
yeah.
yes!
Yes.
I am
So
dead.
then I feel better about it.
You know what my dad used to say was the grossest part of his job,
Ew, which?
which is going to be surprising to you. He, I remember when like Uggs became like really popular in the
Oh, you've told me
beginning.
this before. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're
He
gonna
was like,
say.
no, especially to my sisters. He was like, you guys are never allowed to have Uggs. And we were all like, why? And he was like, you don't understand. Every day, women come into my office wearing Uggs and no socks, and they put their feet in the stirrups, and their feet smell so fucking horrible. And I was like, that's the complaint? He goes, oh my God, you don't understand. It's the Ugg feet smell will absolutely kill you.
I want a bar.
So there you go.
Isn't that insane?
I am dead.
I
Yeah.
know.
It wasn't the like gross vagina.
Right.
It was the ugly.
I'm thinking the combo just had to be beyond.
The combo's got to be
It's
terrible.
a 1-2 punch. Like,
I mean, I don't even know how he would wake up every morning, and like I just can't.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No amount of money.
No
amount of money. Back to Wells being the love expert.
C-block.
C-block.
What? Oh yeah.
Okay, so truly, we do have a lot of stoners. Those are our listeners. Call in and ask for dating advice and stuff. Like, it's definitely a hot topic. So we thought, since you've become so successful at it, I mean, you did bag Sarah Hyland. I got to give you props.
Thank you.
We want to hear your top 10 do's and don'ts for singles looking to find love. So I want to hear like your 5 do's and your 5 don'ts for people that are out there, you know, dating on the apps, like going on first dates. Like, what are the do's and don'ts? 5 of each.
Okay. I'll start with a don't.
Okay.
Don't wear Uggs to the first date.
That's fair.
Okay. Don'ts. Okay, so I think so this is all obviously predicated on like the fact that I work on Bachelor in Paradise and like I have to give love advice there, right?
Yes, exactly.
So one of the things that I like and one of the things I don't like about the show is sometimes. So when I originally started doing the show, there was no limit on what people could drink. You could get as drunk as you'd want to get, right? And then kind of bad things happen. We had to kind of like stop the drinking or like really curtail it. And it really frustrated me. Not because like drinking alcohol made good television, but like if you are trying to get these people to like get engaged at the end of the show, like you need to know kind of everything about the person you're dating.
That is very true.
And I was like, listen, it's a very important thing to know how the person you're dating is when they're drunk, right? Like, so like, I think my do's and don'ts is like, don't get too drunk on the first date with somebody, but also get drunk with somebody so you know how they react. Like some people are like really like I'm a very loving, wonderful drunk, but then sometimes people are like mean drunks, you know, or like rude waiters, like whatever. And that's like,
that's not okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I remember talking to production about this exact thing of like, I think we're doing them a disservice, like, because they could be so nice. They know they're on camera. Like they're giving off one thing. Let them get a little fucked up and just see how they act.
Some truth serum.
Yeah. And I think that we've kind of like released the restrictions a little bit. And it was, this past season was helpful to like kind of show people. Whereas in seasons past, it was tough. So and that's a do and a don't, I suppose. Okay, I tell this one a lot. This is my advice for men, but also for women, I think. Men are very pragmatic when it comes to resolving conflict, right? And so a lot of times when you're in a relationship with a woman, or just in any relationship, but mainly with women, and they come home and they're angry about something. And so there's something wrong. And men, I think, are very like, okay, so there's a problem that there needs to be a solution. Let me try to figure out what the solution is. And what I've found is it's sometimes you really need to listen to your partner to realize what it is they want from you in that certain scenario.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes it's not really that they want a solution. And I would say 9 times out of 10, women do not want a solution from you. They probably know what the issue is and they probably know what the answer is. They want you to be angry with them. And it just took me a very long time to learn to be like, she said what? Okay, well, maybe she didn't mean that. Or like, hold on, you're not thinking what she's thinking. It was like, fuck her for saying that. How dare she? And then, sometimes...
that helps.
Women just want to be like
justified and like
and heard,
yes, and like
And so, in terms of relationships, I would say for men, it's really hard for men because I think men are very much like problem-solving beings. Like, this is broken, I need to fix it. I need a hammer and a nail. Like, very simple. And obviously, like women are much more like emotionally complex. And so, one of the things pieces of advice I always give, like on the beach and maybe in this situation, is. For men especially, you need to really listen to whatever your partner is saying and then figure out what it is that they really need from that.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. And that's been a really helpful thing in my relationship.
Yeah.
For sure. And I also think it's really funny too. Like for me, I love like I love improv. I love, so when I get presented this situation, I will immediately first be like, okay, so she said what? Well, I don't know if I believe that. Then I'm like, no, this is my opportunity to be like, hold on, what did she say? Okay, tell me everything. And then all of a sudden I get to play this part of, I don't really care about the story, let's be honest with you. I just now want to be like in the bit with her and be like angry. And then it becomes really fun. And it's, then I get something out of it as well, which is very weird and I guess self-serving.
So insane, but I love
But
it.
you know what? I feel like Dom is like that.
Yeah.
He
little
gets
bit,
in
for
it
sure.
with me. We're talking it out.
Mhm.
He'll give me both. Like he is very much like that.
I could see that.
But he's also an actor. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a part where he's like, I like this part.
Totally acting.
This
And
is-
then I feel like for him, I think it's like something he can give me, like his emotional and his attention, him hearing me, him actually. I don't know if he's really cares about helping me solve it.
Yeah.
But the reason he does is because that's like, he knows, like, I've kind of never had that in my life in a partner. And so, and it's something I've always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's one of, like, that's probably a little bit of my love language. And like, I think he really works at giving me that.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like, be aware of the needs and step in, you know?
Mm-hmm. When you and Sarah were first dating.
By the way, I didn't give you 10 of anything.
That's
there,
okay.
that's
I feel like we've.
Yeah, I gave you some things.
This is a continuation.
Okay.
When you and Sarah were first dating, what were some of her like beige flags? Like, what were some of the things she did where you were like, oh, this is the one, or yeah, this is good, or she's it, or like, you know what I mean?
Well, so that's a green flag, right?
They call them beige flags
No,
these days.
beige flags is like, it's not, it's like kind of like a dorky idiosyncrasy of your character, but it's not like good or bad.
I feel like they're like things that you like about somebody though, right? Is like how they spin it is like things they do where you're like, oh, like I like her or I like him.
Green is go, beige is caution, and red is no
yellow's
freaking
caution.
way. Huh?
Yellow's caution.
Oh.
Okay.
It's just it's a stupid term. It's a stupid Gen Z term.
I disagree with what you think that beige flag thing is, but I'll answer it in that way. So her beige flag to me is she's a Disney adult. So that's like I'd never come across a Disney adult until I met my wife, and I was like,
I'd die for that.
You want to go to Disneyland? And then we'd go to Disneyland. She'd like point out hidden Mickeys and stuff. And I was like, this is the dorkiest stuff. And like, I'm almost 40 years old and we're like on Pirates of the Caribbean. And then she was like, there's this place called Club 33. You don't even know. Like, it's so cool. It's like this like club inside of Disneyland. I was like, this is ridiculous. And now she has totally converted me. And I'm like, I love Disneyland.
They just went to Disney World.
Yeah, we go every year
You
now.
are joking.
Oh, yeah. She wants to join. By the way, so my 40th birthday is coming up. And she's like trying to figure out what to get me. And I hope she listens to this. So she was like, what do you want? I was like, I don't want, I don't need anything. I have everything. And she wants to join Club 33. And I was like, this is what I want for my 40th birthday. I want you to join this nerd club at Disneyland because it would make you happy. And what I want is you to take me there once a year on my birthday. That's what I want. And she's like, that's a gift for myself. And I was like, yeah, great. Do that. But so
that's fine.
Yeah. And so now she's totally like sexually transmitted Disney adult into me. I love it. And Club 33 is dope. And like
is it exclusive?
I feel like didn't we go there once?
I don't know.
I'm sure
like
you
we did.
It's you have to,
is it just Disney World or is it Disneyland too?
They have them on both.
I think we did the Disneyland one.
The one in Disneyland is the only place in Disneyland where you can get a drink.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a prefix 5-course, like very fancy meal. It's very cool, and it's in New Orleans. Anyways,
I feel like we went once. Maybe when you weren't there, but I remember being there with Miley.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's my beige flag with her. So yeah, her red flag is that she tells. So this is the problem. We're two different people, and I come from the radio world where
you're a Taurus.
Yeah.
Me too.
And she's a Sag.
She's a Sag, which I don't know what that means, but
that means like it's just that absolute nuts, creative, talented, like on child. Molly's a Sag.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. this totally checks out.
Yeah.
Um,
Their birthdays are a day apart.
Oh my gosh.
She and Sarah, right?
what is Miley's?
November 23rd.
23rd? Yeah, my
Yeah.
day apart. That is very weird.
Yeah.
They should probably be friends. Or maybe never
yeah.
meet. I don't know.
One or the other.
One or the other, I'm not sure. Yeah.
The red flag. What was the red flag?
Well, so I come from this radio world where like it was beat into me that like whatever story I was telling or promo I was doing, it all had to be to live in like a 15-second window.
Yep.
So it was I have this clock in my head, brevity and like getting my stories out as quickly as possible. And she doesn't have that. Like she comes from an acting world, like really from a Broadway world of like really like kind of dragging things along. And so we have this tug and like give and take, this tug and pull of like her telling long stories and
you're like, get to the point.
I wanting them to be over. Or like I'm also like super ADD where I can see where the story is going. So like I know where this is going to end.
This is me.
Yeah. And so and I feel bad because this is how she is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we have the
My
is he a Sagittarius?
No, he's an Aquarius, but he just grew up in theater.
Yeah.
He actor, and I am just like already 35 minutes later thinking of I've needed to clean my closet during the whole conversation.
But I mean, I do love it about her because like what makes her stories like long is because she is such a great actor. So it's like
Dom too.
It's like she's noting like expressions and like noting things that like I'm like does that add the story? But I can see it from her eyes of like reading a script.
Yeah.
Exterior, blue sky. The birds are singing. Like I can see where she's coming from.
Totally.
So it's one of those things of I need to, like I need to be better, like appreciating that.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
But I think too, it's because like as a Taurus, we're very practical, and I'm just trying to do everything in the quickest amount of time.
Efficiency. I love efficiency.
You know, that's me, and that's not always good. But that's me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that 30-minute conversation could have been 7 minutes.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I'm such a fast decision maker,
Mm.
and Sarah is totally not this at all. And she'll ask me. So she spent like a couple of days figuring out about like this outdoor like propane heating thing on the patio.
Oh yeah.
And she measured it like 3 times, and and it was just for her because I never go outside and like look on my phone in the morning and have my coffee. She does that, and I was like, I had made the decision, and I was like that one, and then like for like a couple days she would be like, what about this one? But hold on, this one's cheaper.
I'm
like,
Sarah.
Yes,
I'm Sarah.
and
in
it's
this
so funny
scenario.
because I'm like. What are you getting out of like really like nitpicking all this stuff? And she was like, well, I want to make sure I make the right decision. I'm like, oh, we're completely different people.
That one.
See, here's why I love smoking.
By the way, I'm totally stoned now from secondhand smoke.
Contact. Welcome to my
100%.
freaking world.
I actually was gonna ask Hattie if she could get me my one I really love.
Oh wow, there's a different one.
And bring the Miss
I
Grass for the
think
game.
it's just setting over there.
Bring the Miss Grass for the game.
She has it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that one.
Oh boy.
What's in that one?
Yeah, what's in that one?
This one, Wiz does indica.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm not like usually indica kind of makes me tired. So I'm gonna have to balance it out with some sativa.
This one's got cocaine in it.
Here's yours for tonight.
Okay.
No, that's for the game.
What game?
Truth or
I'm not
Toke.
smoking weed.
Well, let me introduce the game and I'll explain why
I'm
you
telling
need
you,
it.
I'm not.
I'm just okay. Well, then you're gonna have to answer all the questions.
That's fine.
So we
They're not even crazy questions.
I know. But we got to start thinking of some crazier ones, by the way, people, and make this little. Anyway, we play a game
Can I
called
just say
Truth.
how great it is that this matches our set?
It is nice.
Can we get them to send us these and just promise we'll use them on every episode?
Who makes that?
Jeters. Oh, this is a Jeter.
Is that
Derek Jeter?
Derek Jeter's company?
I don't think so, but usually I thought Jeters were teeny tiny ones.
Huh.
They're just infused. Oh,
That
the
is a
Mac
big
Daddy of
blunt.
Jeters.
It's a fatty.
How much do you smoke? Do you smoke like a little bit and then put it out? Is that your thing?
I usually don't smoke these.
Yeah.
I'm Sarah, where I used to be. Like if I was buying a grill
Yeah.
for 3 days, I'd read every fucking
Yeah.
review.
That's
I
me.
mean, like, well,
Oh yeah, she read me all the reviews.
Oh yeah.
and then now I do that, and then I smoke a joint, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that one.
Oh, yeah?
And I just buy it.
Oh wow. Okay. Interesting.
Okay. We have a game.
Okay.
It's called Truth or Toke.
Okay.
So you either tell the truth or you toke.
Or I take a toke. I'll just tell all the truth.
You have that option.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But I just
Let
felt
me
we
think of
should
some good
have it
questions.
just in case. Just in case.
Okay.
Mother, I think you're reading some of these too.
Okay, you
just
go
so
first.
You know. Okay. What's
All
the
right, well,
most?
give me the thing just in case.
Yeah, that's what I was
just in
saying.
case,
Give him one just in case.
You might ask me a question that gets me fired. From the job.
I'll start off easy on you.
Okay.
What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?
It's funny because we did it on the show, and like when I was on The Bachelorette, they had this whole storyline for me was that I never kissed JoJo,
I know.
and that like
he didn't until the day you got
Yeah.
kicked off.
and what's frustrating about that is that was not what I wanted. Like
What do you mean?
I was the last guy to kiss the girl that we were all dating.
Yeah, like
on the show.
He wouldn't make
Why
a move.
didn't you do that?
Well, I never had a one-on-one date, so we were always
Oh.
on group dates, and it was kind of frowned upon to like kind of try to kiss her in front of everybody
Yeah.
else. So I never really had an opportunity, and also on that show it's so tough. You really only get like 20 minutes of talking with somebody before you're like, okay, a new person's going to come in. And I remember being like, I don't even really know this person very well, and like usually like I'll go on a date and I get like an hour with somebody,
Yeah.
and at the end of
Then
it I can be
decide
like,
if I'm going to kiss her.
then
or not.
maybe I want to make out with her.
Yeah.
And I remember like, we were probably 6 episodes in, and I was like doing the math. I was like, I think I spent like 40 minutes with this person. Like, I don't know. I don't really know her. I was like, I don't know her middle name. Like, I don't really know where she's from. Anyways, so this
I'm
whole
dead.
dialogue was that I was kind of scared to kiss her. And I hated that because that was not the person I
Yeah.
was. I was very confident, and I was, good at dating. And I wasn't like, it made me feel,
You married Sarah Hyland.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
just
you're doing all
fine.
right.
but that was embarrassing to me. And
Sure.
and it also, then it turned into, they started to actively keep me away from her
Right.
to like make that thing a thing.
I
And
hate when
that
they
was
do
frustrating.
that.
They got to make a show.
Yeah. But the other one was on our podcast when I told this story of Sarah I think she was in Berlin filming, and she was like, what are you doing right now? And I was like, what do
Oh,
you
I
mean?
love
And
this.
I was like, I'm in the bathroom. And she was like, what were you just doing? And I was like, I was downstairs, and then I went upstairs to go to the bathroom. We have cameras in our house, And you might have seen this.
I saw.
Yeah. Anyway, so I farted, and I thought I had shit myself. And so I got up and I pulled my pants out to see if I'd shit in my pants. And the cameras picked it up, and I was holding my phone like as I do. And so it looked like I was taking a dick pic. And she was like, did you take a dick pic? And if you did, who did you send it to? And I was like, no, I didn't take a dick pic. But then I realized, like, but the truth, I don't even know what's better.
What's
So
worse?
I was like, I thought I shit myself. And she was like, but it looks like you taking a dick pic. So then I found the video from the camera, and it totally does look like I was taking a
I
shit.
would have said I was going to send you a dick pic.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no, because like 10 minutes had gone by, and she was like, no
Where's
dick
my
pic.
dick pic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I've never sent her a dick pic.
I know, but
So-
this could have been a first. I would
Yeah.
have never admitted
She would have
that.
never admitted
Ever
the
in
shitting
my
her
life.
pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was embarrassing, but I also think that was funny.
She won't even
So,
admit that she shits at all.
No. Why would I?
yeah. You're like Kim Jong-un.
So
He's never taken a shit.
like, do you and Sarah like, do you know when each other's like taking a shit in the bathroom?
We go to different bathrooms.
You go to different bathrooms.
See,
Okay.
this is a thing.
Oh yeah. Would you like to ask Wells a truth or toke question?
I can't see, and I lost my glasses.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Patty's still. Oh, thank
Your
Let's
glasses
see.
match the chair.
I know, I planned it.
Oh, okay.
What is the thing that you're most like truly worried about right now?
Work. I'm truly worried about work. Yeah, I don't know.
I think a lot of people are.
Mm.
Yeah. It's weird because I went before the strike, I had my best year. I did 2 different TV shows. Both podcasts were doing well. And then the strike happened, and one TV show which did well went away. And then like I am in this weird spot where I've done Paradise for 7 years now, and it's like at some point there needs to be like
Mm.
another thing, like
Yeah.
you know. So that's what
Okay, well, I have a question.
Okay.
Who's your favorite person that you met from Bachelor Nation?
I would say Ben Higgins.
I love Ben.
But then like a close second would be Dean.
I wondered, yeah.
Only because Ben is just a nice guy.
He is the nicest human.
He's the sweetest, and like he really doesn't have like a bad bone in his body. And it's so funny. One of his big things is he is so concerned with people not liking him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
What?
that's so funny because I'm like, Ben, I don't know a single person that doesn't like
No.
you. Like,
That's so funny.
yeah.
I know, he's literally the most likable person.
Yeah.
Ever.
He's such a lovely human being. But then Dean, I love Dean because Dean is so much different than I am.
I don't know Dean.
No, you remember? You did meet Dean.
Yeah,
Dean
he
was
was
in the dressing
drunk.
room at iHeart that year that
think
we
he
put
was-
on the I Love MC shirts.
Oh,
I think he was
I
drunk
just
that night.
didn't watch his season or whatever if he was
Yeah.
on
No,
it.
I don't think you did.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's just like a very like free spirit, like wanderlust person.
Oh, I love
And
that.
like his life gives me so much anxiety.
Mm.
But I like really appreciate him and I love him because he's able to like walk through life in a way that I could never. And like that's kind of inspiring and I wish I could
Yeah.
be more like that. But
Just
he's, like-
more happy-go-lucky, or
Yeah, and he's like, he like bought a van, like
Yeah.
just toured around
That
the
is my
country.
dream.
Yeah. And then like he teaches himself like carpentry and like so he'll like go build stuff himself and it's like and I wish I could be like you but I'm not and so he's just like a very interesting
He's a
person
little
to be around.
gypsy.
Yes.
I
you know?
love that.
For sure.
Mhm, for sure. Who's your least favorite person you've ever met from Bachelor Nation?
Brandi?
Oh, that's a good question. Who would have hated?
Was it that guy, that big guy?
Who?
No.
Remember that one guy?
I don't want to name names, but
Yeah.
there
Well, then you
are-
got a toke.
I gotta.
Okay, fine.
Oh!
Do I have to do this one?
Yeah, the baby one.
But I will say this every year.
My foot is itching. Stop. It's these fucking whales.
Oh, don't take those socks off.
My feet smell like roses.
Will this get me really baked?
Not
No.
even at all. Like, I don't think you'll feel one
Light
thing.
him up, Mom.
He could feel like relaxed from CBD, but there is no high in that. I wish it would be.
Little pro.
Okay.
Because I'm just not stoned at all. And I've been smoking it up all
I
morning.
think you are a little stoned.
Am I stoned?
Yes.
I baked. For just from her.
This is me every
Yeah.
every
I want to
day.
know if you even feel this at all.
Well, I'm gonna.
And what about Joe and Serena?
So yeah, I mean, and then probably Joe and Serena. I married them.
I
so, Like,
know. They're so cute.
yeah, they're like weirdly attractive, like annoyingly attractive
Mhm.
people.
I mean, I think Serena is
She's
just
gorgeous.
so hot.
Have you seen her mom?
No.
Her mom is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. Like when I saw her, I was
I
like,
see
oh, I
that.
totally get it.
Yep.
And she looks. What did I say to her? I said, you look just like your daughter. And she goes, my daughter looks just like me. And I go, no, you look just like your daughter, as in you look like you're 25 years old. And she was like, ooh, good comeback.
And what
Love
are
that.
they?
Yes.
Is she
Indian. I think she's half Indian and half something else.
gorgeous?
She's beautiful.
Yeah. I will say this though, like there are people, when we've talked about this on our podcast, Brandi, but there are people in Paradise that come down that are rude to crew and to me.
Oh, I do not like that.
And
When
you know,
somebody's
But you're
rude
not
to
naming
any
names?
type of crew, you are out of my life.
yeah, there's no point in like dragging people. Like,
It's okay.
yeah,
You took a toke. I'm
took a
good with
toke,
it.
yeah.
That was my goal from that question,
Yeah,
to
that
be
was a good
honest with
one.
you.
That was a good one.
That was my goal.
And do you feel like that is people that have been in Bachelor Nation for a long period of time, or are these newbies? Or because I'm like, surely anybody new to the franchise or whatever is going to be so happy and nice and whatever. Is it people that feel like they're on TV and now they're a-holes, or what?
Yeah, actually, I think it's the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of times, if you're very new to the show, especially when we do Paradise, they might not even gotten to see their season because it's airing while we're there. And so they think they're the star of the show, that they're not.
Mm,
And it's actually people who have done the show enough that knows, like, I'm probably going to cut out of this show. Like, for me, I go film a 12-hour day, and I get if I get like a 3 minutes of screen time, I'm lucky, right?
And you have to be there all that time.
Yeah. And so it's the people that think that they're the big shit.
Yep.
And I have to be like, hey, sweetie, this is never going to be on TV, just so you know. And they realize that, and the next season they're nicer. But I would say usually it's in the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Doesn't shock me though.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
Well, should we do some Dear MT?
What does that mean?
We have a segment called Dear MT where the stoners call in and ask Tish for advice.
I thought you said, should we do DMT?
Oh.
And I was like, man, this podcast is fucked up.
Taking it up a level. But
That is hilarious.
You heard me on our podcast this week tell the YFTers that you were coming on here and
Yeah.
to call in if they had any questions for you.
Yeah.
So I think there are a couple questions for you also,
Let's do those
Wells,
first.
which is exciting. Okay, yeah. Let's see. First one.
Hi, Tish and Brandi. I just want to hear about the time that Brandi and Wells went on their first date. I just need to see. Okay, thanks.
That's fucking Kirsten, in case anybody's
Oh,
wondering.
really?
Are you freaking for real?
We've told this story, though.
Well, I was telling it to her before you got here because I
Okay.
guess she didn't know. Keys, you didn't know, right? Yeah, she didn't know that story somehow.
I actually had forgotten that story completely.
Which is weird because Keys is my best friend, so I feel like she should know that. But we have told it a lot of YFT and like various things.
Well, tell it to the stoners.
But we'll-
Can you do it? I don't even know if I really
I mean, it's
can
been
recall
so
it
long.
well.
We're so freaking old. It's literally been so long. But we were set up on a date through a mutual friend.
Was it
and
Lisa Go?
it was Sarah Lai.
Oh, Sarah Lai, okay.
And we went to like some Mexican restaurant
Yeah.
and I had a Big Daddy
The one-
margarita.
The one in 12 South? Was it that
we,
one?
We get fuzzy on this because I
We
feel
decided to do the podcast.
like that was a Taco Mamacita,
That Taco Mamacita.
which is no longer there.
Really?
no,
They
it's
moved
so
it.
sad.
It's moved
Oh.
to Germantown.
The one over by Belmont.
Yeah, but now it's different.
Okay.
I feel like I came to East Nashville. Were we at Rose Pepper the first one?
No, I thought it was in.
This is what we do.
I thought it was 12 South, the one that's like.
Bar Taco?
Yeah.
Yeah. You do. You always say it's Bar Taco.
No, over by like where I'm a Gene and Willie's is. And,
Bar Taco.
Bar Taco, yeah.
Okay.
12 South.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's,
sure.
That's where I remember
Okay.
it being. But
So
I
we
don't think
went
that was
out
the
on a
first
date.
date. I think the first date was I came over to your house. You're having a kickball game.
Was that the first time I met you?
I think so.
And then we went to Taco.
Kickball.
So I used to have this game in my
That sounds
backyard.
fun.
It was fun.
It was fun. So basically, it's called Slip and Die.
Oh, yeah.
The Slip and Die party, and it's kickball, but with slip and slides in between each base. And you're in a swimsuit, and we have the hoses out, and everyone's drunk, and we're playing kickball, and it was so fucking fun. We did it for like 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
It was awesome.
That was
and
fun.
There was only one injury in the whole 3 years we did that. Somebody hurt their knee one time. But other than that, it was fine. But you came over. I guess Sarah invited you over. I was so blacked out in my mind. That was one of the drunkest I've ever been.
Really?
Yeah, I was
I don't
so
remember
drunk.
thinking you were drunk. I remember that there
we
were
made Jello shots.
Jello shots, and I remember the guys from Hot Shell Ray were there.
Aw.
Ryan and Nash were
Yeah.
there. So it was like one of my first hangs with Adam Bobo. And it was like a hodgepodge of people because I had just broken up with an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so like most of his friends were there, and like Sarah Lai, somebody I met through him. But it was like, just a weird time for me because like we had just broken up, but like we had all the same friends. But most of them were on my side, as they should be. But I was also trying to make new friends, you know what I mean? And so it was just like an interesting time. But you're right, you did come over for the Slip and Die kickball party.
And I had to leave early. I had to go to work or something.
And I was devastated
And
because you were our
ve-
best player.
Yeah, I was. I remember.
know.
I remember. I kicked everyone's ass, and then I was
Yeah.
like, "Peace
Oh
out. I
my
gotta go."
And I'm
gosh.
so competitive. I was like, can you leave?
Yeah, I think I was the pitcher.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah,
You're our best
right,
player.
yeah.
I guess, and then we went to get
Yes.
tacos.
And the way that I remember it is that we went to get tacos, and I think I was in the process of being cast for the show.
You were, but I didn't know that on the first date.
I told you at some point,
I
and
think
you were like,
the
"You
second
should
or
not
third
do that."
Time I did say that. But then you were like, but then we could start a podcast. And then
Yeah.
I was like, you should do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You should go on that show. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like the date, I just remember like we talked and I feel like we both were just like, without saying it, we were both like friend vibes.
Yeah. Well, you told me after the fact, you were like, "I don't like guys who think they're funny."
I don't.
And
And he was definitely like ripping
there's
jokes.
no one that
and
thinks
I'm
they're
like,
funnier than me. So
Yeah.
She did
Yeah.
not say that out loud.
Yes.
I don't know if you said it
Later.
later. You were like, "Yeah," and I think maybe
Or
I
guys that
picked up
I
on
hate
it.
comedy.
you hate comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is hilarious because we do a comedy podcast.
So do we, really.
I know.
Yeah.
But like, guys that just tell jokes and think they're fucking funny are just my least favorite. My least favorite.
That's
I don't
me.
know what to say. Also, I'm not a teeny tiny brunette, so it would just never
Fair.
would have worked. You know?
Yeah.
True.
Wells only dates teeny tiny brunettes.
That is very valid.
That was a good story. And look at us now. Okay.
I know.
Here's the next one.
Hey guys, just calling, kind of
Mm-hmm.
not going to go on a rant, but kind of going off of what Brandi always says in the aspect of men are trash. I'm new to the dating scene, I guess, and I just got out of a long-time relationship. Kind of scared of dating apps, so haven't done those yet. I guess want to know what you guys think about dating apps or dating right now in general. I know from friends that dating has been impossible, and obviously hearing everything from everyone about how dating is shit right now. But I feel like getting into this new territory, I don't really know what to do or where to start. Like I said, I haven't gone on dating apps. I actually had an old friend reach out. I guess when you're newly single, people kind of feel that energy. He reached out and wanted to hang out and go on a couple of dates, and then I never heard back from him. So I guess that's just how the dating world is now. Don't really get it. Don't really understand what happened in that situation. Wasn't really into him in the beginning, and then kind of was like, okay, maybe I could like him. And then I guess
Maybe he
I
ghosted
won't
you
hear
because
back
your
from him.
stories are so long.
So just kind of going off of, don't really know how to go into this new territory. Any advice? Yeah, pretty much terrified about the whole thing. Not stoned, but about to be. Really appreciate you guys
She's not stoned.
and all that you do. You both are beautiful, and I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Bye, guys.
Okay, I feel her. We won't name names, but that one asshole that I went out with, and then he's the one that was like, "So let's go out again." That like this day, and then like he just ghosted me. Like, why do people do that?
Here's the thing.
I didn't even really like him, and then somehow he was like breaking up with me. We weren't even together. Oh my god!
And then did you like him after that? Because he
Yeah,
broke
well,
up.
then I was mad, but I was like,
Yeah.
why am I mad? I didn't even really like him, but I was just mad that like he set up the second date, and then like the day came around, I'm like, so you're coming to get me at that, right? No
I
answer, never
really
heard from him
don't
again.
understand that, because I hear that a lot, and I'm like, why would you say that if you don't like? Why even do? I don't get that.
Yeah,
I do think that for this lady in general, like you need to make sure you're dating like people who are ready to be dated.
is anyone?
I don't know. I think that like a 25-year-old guy and you're going on a date with him, come on. Like let's be realistic. I think that you need to find more mature people. Like for me, I remember there was some fuckboy in me for a little bit, and then there became a time where I was like, okay, I'm going to need to be an adult. Like I want to settle down. And I think that's the problem, is finding those people who want to settle down.
Mm-hmm.
How old did she say she was?
I don't think she said.
Oh.
I bet you the thing is that she's 25 or something. So like I don't know how dating apps work, 'cause I really never was on one. But I imagine you're like, I want to date in this window.
Some of them you can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I think.
And I think maybe you probably need to date like a little bit older of a guy that's like ready.
It's really hard though to find single guys in that older age range, like
Yeah.
my age. It's really hard. Yeah,
because I feel like all the guys my age want to date your age.
yeah.
They
But
all do.
all the guys my age, I feel like, are married, and if they're not, there's a reason. And for me, I feel like my options are 25 or 45.
I would agree with that.
There's really not a whole lot in between, because the 45-year-olds are divorced and want to have a second go at
with
it
a young girl.
with a younger girl or whatever, and then the 25-year-olds, like, they're the one that's who's available.
Yeah.
It's frustrating for sure. So I
And
understand.
I also think that like guys have figured that tactic out of like of pulling away, and then because it was a guy that you didn't even like, and then he pulled away, and then you're like, wait, hold on a second. And yeah, that's a little manipulative, but
very manipulative.
But I think they figured that out.
Sociopaths. Here's what I'll say.
Also, this is another thing.
Okay.
to all the ladies out there, you need to date the nerds. You need to date the dorks. Those guys are the best. They're
She isn't going to agree with that.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm just telling you, those guys are the ones that are going to be.
Are you classifying yourself as a dork?
I for sure was a dork.
I don't think so.
You were a little nerdy.
I mean, I was a hipster,
Little
like
music geek,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
yeah, like audiophile, like one of those people.
Yeah.
But you're also like over 6 feet tall, which helps. And
I'm not saying find an ugly dork.
Okay.
but it's hard to find a hot dork.
I don't know.
I can't name one.
Me.
I can't give you that though. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like Dom's not a dork.
Fucking no.
I bet you he's dorky about things, though. He's an actor. He
No.
for sure is a
He
dork.
is not dorky.
Was he a theater kid?
Kind of, but
wasn't-
he's
Oh, yeah,
really
yeah, he
not
was a dork.
dorky.
Was he like in like musicals?
Okay, so
don't think-
in his school, he had to take this like theater class.
Yeah.
And all the boys and girls had to wear tights. And so he showed up in his board shorts and I was like, I am not wearing tights. And then they were like, well, then you can't take the class.
Oh, really?
And he goes, okay, well, I guess I won't take it. But he was like they knew how good he was and they did
Yeah.
not want him to live at school. He got called into the principal and he was like, Dominic, why are you not, you have to wear the tights. And Dom was like, not wearing the tights. And he goes, okay, well, we're going to have to suspend you. And he goes, okay. And so they called him the next day and said, you can come back. And guess what? Now none of the boys have to wear tights.
Well.
No.
Yeah. I think that's good for him for having boundaries.
I mean, he's got major. And honestly,
None of the
Molly, you
boys
know
have
what?
tights.
I did have a psychological breakdown, which the world's talking about right now that I've heard. That
Love the
because-
press.
Which, you know what? I'm not ashamed of it.
you shouldn't be.
And so I literally took matters into my own hands and said, watch this.
Mm-hmm.
And I married him like one
I
for
am
one.
dead.
Well done.
One for freaking one.
You're nuts.
But my point of the matter is, you know what? It's another kudos to Dom. Most guys Dom's age want Brandy's age.
Yeah.
That's just true.
Or
But
younger.
You know what?
Jesus.
I want to change that.
Okay.
Because honestly, I'm sorry, most girls, well, more younger than
I
you,
think
they
so.
are nuts.
Oh, I know.
Like the things, the games, I do not have that in me.
Yeah.
No.
And
but I think men like that.
but do they? I
Yeah.
don't
Otherwise,
think
why do they
so.
keep dating that?
Because the thing about it is I think the whole perception, even Miley telling me, Mom, you might have to date that. I think guys associate somebody in their 50s because it's just different because their moms, a
Mhm.
lot of moms look like dressed the part. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
She's trying to be
you can't
PC.
be a
I'm so
cool
proud.
mom, like,
I
you know what I
know.
mean? No, it's just true. And it's like, there are hot 50s somethings and like you don't need to go younger because then you get a lot of crazy.
Yeah.
A lot.
And
of
I'm not saying
crazy.
everybody, but I'm just saying there's a lot of drama.
Mhm.
And I think like that's also age.
Mhm.
By my age, you're too freaking tired for the drama,
Mhm.
but you're still fun and sexy. And you know what? It's all about the fun because I've had my kids. Thank God they're all gone and out of the house. And I am just like, I feel like I was so good from 24 to 54. And now I'm just like,
Living your best life.
I'm living my final quarter.
Oh,
Well,
I
a
loved
good
that.
one.
I loved that soapbox moment. Really, I did.
Did you? Did
Yeah.
it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
feel
was
like
great.
it did.
I'm
So
baked. I stopped listening.
You're baked. I hope
45
we.
minutes
I don't know
ago.
if we helped the stoner, but that's
Oh.
okay.
No, I think that. Listen, that's tough.
It is tough.
That's what I loved about the Golden Bachelor.
Yeah,
I mean, those women were so much fun.
they were. Good. They also had great story. Like that's a hard thing to get out of, 20-somethings that go on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. It's like they
Mhm.
have never lived life. Like
No.
there's no hardship.
No.
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 And
That's
then you have these women who are like, I'm a widower.
I
I've been
know.
divorced 3 times.
Yeah.
And like you've lived life, you have a story to tell. And
You
that's
really
why
do.
It was a really, really good introspective into like character and like women that are like still wanting to like find love.
Yeah. When I watched it, I was just because I recently watched it because I was like, Golden Bachelor.
Yeah.
Same thing. My perception was, look, this is a bunch of old people. Like, what am I going to watch this for? And then I'm like, oof, that's
Old
about me
people.
in about 4 years.
I was gonna say it's about your age.
So
Yeah, if it wasn't for Dom, you would be the next Golden Bachelorette. For
You sure would.
Well, I know somebody else who's going to be one.
You? I'll give you the number of some casting directors.
God.
I am dead. But anyway, I watched it and I liked it better than the regular Bachelor because there was so much authenticity of exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like they have lived life and it, like you could feel it. It was just different.
For sure.
All right, I gotta reel you in. You're getting crazy.
Okay.
Nothing we've said has helped the stoner.
Yeah. I stick with you should find the nerds.
Okay, find the nerds.
They can be good-looking nerds.
Find
but
the
like,
nerds.
Mm-hmm.
I say,
I guess what I'm trying to say, you can suss out an F-boy pretty quickly.
yeah,
And
true.
And so trying to say like avoid those guys.
I say leave the country. That's my advice.
Wow. Just expat it up. That's
Next question.
Go.
Hey, this question is for Wells. Wells, I know you've seen a lot of couples on Bachelor in Paradise, and I just wanted to know if you have noticed any behaviors, patterns, or commonalities between the couples that tend to result in successful relationships in your experience observing lots of different people and couples.
That's a great
question.
Yeah. It's usually like when you know, and that's the thing that
She does say that.
Yeah.
When you know, you know.
And it sucks for us making a television show because the second that happens, then they are no longer on our show because they're so boring. But it's so wonderful because you're like, oh, you found your person.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the commonality is like the love at first sight thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So with Sarah, love at first sight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Then I remember driving in the car back home with her. We were in like a black car and making out. And I was like, oh yeah, this is the one for sure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I always say it. Like,
is that how you felt with Dom?
oh yeah.
Oh,
if you know,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And
She knew before meeting him. Are you kidding?
we had
To an extent.
Yeah, there was just this thing. Like, I don't know. Like, even though we didn't know each other personally, we had common people, and it was just. But I always say that when you know, and like I see, people that are together for like, and at the age where it's time to either like do it or don't.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, when you've been with somebody 3, 4, 5 years, and you're not progressing and moving forward to the next step, like it's time to keep it moving and find somebody that you do feel that way about,
Yeah, it's frustrating on the show, especially in the adverse, is when you're like, why are you like square pegging this round hole? Like, know
totally.
this isn't going to work.
Is that because they want to stay on the show?
Yeah, and I think that everyone has this like inflated delusion of like what their story is supposed to be. And so then they try to manipulate it and like try to convince themselves of things.
I think we do that in real life.
Yeah.
For sure.
Totally.
I mean, for the most part, that is real life.
Yes.
But yes, of course, there is the like, I want to stay. I want to rose.
Totally.
There's a competitive nature to it all. But I have to have those conversations a lot with people, being like, hey, man, you're kind of like putting all your eggs in this basket. And I can tell you're not that into it. So like, keep your eyes open. Yes, because you don't know who's coming down the steps.
That's right. And I think a lot of them do stay. And again, it's because it's like, oh, I've built this. And what if I leave her and try this one and then I can't get her back, then I'm off the show.
Yeah. And then what inevitably happens is that they've kind of sold this bill of goods to the other person. And then when it finally does fall apart, the other person's like, you lied to me this entire time.
Totally.
And that sucks because they were hoping it was going to work, but
I know.
Yeah.
Rough.
But for the ones that do, yay.
I know. All right, we have one more, and it's a video question.
Okay.
Where's our TV monitor, Mother?
Hi Brandi and Tish, my name is Liana, I'm 21 years old, and first of all I want to say that I really like your podcast. You guys are hilarious and inspiring by being totally yourselves. That's what I really like, so please keep on going with that. I have 2 questions, one for Brandi and one for Tish. But before I start, I want to say sorry for my bad pronunciation. It's not because I'm stoned, because I don't smoke, but I'm from the Netherlands. I start off with my question for Tish. There's a boy I really like, but he lives far away from me. So the only way by getting in touch with him is probably by sliding into his DM. And I heard you're an expert in it, so maybe you can help me out and give me some tips or advice for writing a good message. And then my second question is for Brandi. In a few months, I'm going on a road trip at the West Coast in your country. And I will see a lot of highlights, but I was wondering if you have any secret spots or places that I should visit on my road trip to make my trip unforgettable. These were my questions. I hope you will guys answer my questions and I would really appreciate it. Lots of love from Amsterdam. Oh, and by the way, Tish, that's the place to be to get stoned. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with
Our
her.
stoners are so cute.
Have you ever
They
been
are.
to Amsterdam?
Oh, it's her favorite place
And
ever.
it wasn't because I got to smoke weed there. But it is probably one of my favorite cities in the world.
Yeah,
that
bunch
I've
of good
been to.
museums there.
It is so beautiful.
Everyone rides
But a lot of
It's-
bicycles.
She
There's
loves that.
so many bicycles.
The bathrooms there though are really weird.
Oh, I've
I
never
don't
been.
I don't remember that.
So like the public ones, at least for guys.
Mm.
I
it's-
don't remember that because I don't do it.
Well, no, just for peeing, it's like a kind of a big circle with like crescent moons cut out,
Oh.
What?
and so there is no door. You just go and you
What?
pee, and your back is to it. And I remember thinking this is so
It's
insane.
very strange.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I'm trying to like describe. So it's kind of like a cylinder,
Okay.
and then there's kind of like crescents cut out all around it with a toilet hole. But so the cylinder kind of goes around your back like this.
Is only one person in there at a time?
No, it's like you could have like 10 people around
Okay.
around it.
Then
That's
there's
so
no
weird.
door?
No,
No.
Well, even for girls?
no, just
He
for
doesn't
guys.
know.
No, just for guys. And so everyone's standing up peeing into a thing, but you can't see anything.
That's just weird.
It's very strange.
I might have made this entire thing up, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Now I need to look it up.
I'm like, what? I do not remember this.
Okay. Answer your questions.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
gonna find
What's
this on the
your
phone.
answer for? She wants, because I know you don't remember. She wants to know what your advice about sliding into the DMs because the boy she likes lives far away.
Okay.
And what to say
I remember this.
in the slide.
And it's kind of, I think, like what she said about us and why she likes to watch our show. I think you just keep it light and even something funny. And also, I love, because I'm an insecure girl,
Mhm.
is I love to give them like a way out right from the beginning.
Okay.
Like I'm always giving people a chance to leave. I literally said to Dom,
You're so
like,
nuts.
3 months in, I just had an anxiety attack about it. He would tell this. I literally showed up we were meeting we had this little pub we love to go to, and we met at the pub, and I'm like, okay, I just have to tell you right now, like, like this feels like this is good. Like, but like, if it's like in your mind, if it's, I'm more into this than you, like, please just tell me right now. Like I'm no hard feeling. Like, I just need to know. Fucking psycho.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
Uh-huh.
he was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, if you want to what? Because listen, I come with a lot of baggage.
Don't we all?
I
You're the
don't
baggage, by
know.
the way.
Well,
And like, just like Molly and I, like,
I'm not the baggage.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
have
yeah.
a-
The other,
You're the lightest bag.
I'm the lightest
Yeah.
bag.
and,
You're
like,
right.
you
on the
know,
carousel.
like I work with Molly. We hang out
Yeah.
together. She's my best friend. I mean, like, Molly's a big, big, big part of my life.
Mhm.
And I just think that it's kind of not the most normal thing. And like,
Yeah.
and so I was just like, I know I come with a lot.
Mhm.
So like,
Mm-hmm. Okay, that didn't help the
wait,
stoner.
no. You could say, hey, so-and-so, I just like saw you here on
But if
Inst-
not, no worries.
And,
Is that what you're
like,
saying?
I know we live far apart, but I think you're really cute. And if you'd like want to jump
should
on
FaceTime.
FaceTime
Yeah.
sometime and chat, but if, I am far away, so I understand if you don't.
See, I wouldn't add that part, but I'm single, so don't listen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just be like, and all cool if not, like,
No worries.
because he could have a girlfriend. Like if I'm not sure if you're single, but if you have a girlfriend, no worries. But if you'd like to jump on FaceTime and hang for a minute, I'd love that.
Cute.
That's my advice.
That's good.
Okay, let's help her with her road trip. I actually feel like
I'm better.
you're better at answering this because, believe it or not, I haven't ever driven
Me either, and it's my
past
You haven't
Santa
done
Barbara.
the PCH?
I haven't all the way as far as I want to go. I haven't driven to like Carmel.
That's where I grew up.
Well, I was
know.
thinking even if it were me, I want to go. I want to see the Oregon coast.
Me too.
For sure. I don't know that either, but I would
Washington.
like that.
Yeah,
That's what I want to do.
What's the national park there on the west coast of Washington State?
I don't know.
I can't remember the name of it, but it looks absolutely stunning. But
Yosemite?
no, hit her with the.
Okay,
that's
so,
not on the coast.
Yeah.
just
So
we're
what
clear.
was her name?
I can't.
It's okay. Whatever. You need to drive either up or down the Pacific Coast Highway, which is the PCH,
The
or Highway
one.
1. What?
The one.
Yeah, the one. So I would suggest you start in San Francisco and go down, because if you're driving, that means you get to have the view of looking down towards the ocean.
Okay. Or does she start in Oregon?
Well, that's a really long drive.
But like it's so gorge.
I know. I mean,
That's days.
yeah.
But maybe she has days.
That's true.
But anyways, I would say start in like San
Okay,
Francisco. Do
start
San Francisco.
north and go down.
Yeah, like
Okay.
go have a day in San Francisco. That's always fun. And then like, you get on the PCH, I think around like Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz is crazy, like the Aptos area. And then you go down. You need to stop where I grew up in Carmel. And you need to go down to Carmel Beach. There's like these little like markets you can get like a baguette or like a little picnic thing. Go down to the beach, watch sunset if you can. Stay in Carmel if you can, because it's beautiful and there's all these cool little restaurants. And then drive down to Big Sur. Stop at Nepenthe for the Ambrosia Burger. It's like famous. You got to do it. And then I would stay at a place called Tree Bones, which is like yurts that overlook.
Cool.
It's so cool. It's really cheap.
That sounds amazing.
Beautiful. Go like Google
Yes.
Tree Bones is awesome. And then just keep on going down south. You can stop at like Hearst Castle.
I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah, that's cool too. And
Yeah.
it's just like one of the most beautiful like pieces of roadway in the country. That's what I would suggest doing.
If she keeps going all the way into Orange County, there's a couple little beach towns we love.
Solano Beach.
Solana Beach. There's a restaurant there. Is it still there? Nick's.
It's absolutely, that's in San Clemente.
In San Clemente. We love Nick's.
Oh, it's so good.
But those are two really cute little beach towns that if you're going to keep going south, would highly recommend.
Highly recommend San Clemente.
Yeah.
It is truly just a little surf town, but so beautiful, so quaint. Again, Nick's Grill is just so good.
What's the Malibu spots?
Malibu's so sleepy.
It is sleepy.
I really love what's the Little Doom, Point Doom.
Yes.
Yeah.
That beach. It used to be like way more of a secret than it is now. But as long as you're up for a little hike, because the stairs are brutal.
Yeah, they
You
are.
park up on the street and then you take the stairs down to Point
What's
Doom.
the restaurant over there? Jeffrey's?
Oh, Joffrey's, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun place.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's good.
What's
What's the karaoke where they do karaoke?
is that the one that Cindy Crawford and Randy own?
Maybe. You know what it's called?
Little Javiana?
Maybe. It's been so long since I've been
Yeah,
there.
me too.
That is really fun though.
Yeah.
We'll have to look that up and post it. But anyway,
There's a lot. And
There's a
even
lot to
like
do.
as you're coming down into Malibu, Neptune's Net.
Mhm.
That is just like so iconic.
Yeah.
It's been in so many movies, so many things. So it's fun to stop there too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What a cutie. I love
Yeah,
her.
Me too.
Well, folks, that's all we got. Was it everything you dreamed of, Mother, to have Wells on the pod?
I mean, honestly, I forgot we were recording.
Love
Yeah,
that.
well, you had a producer be like, you guys got to wrap
Yeah,
this up.
we do.
I love that.
That's all we got.
How does your show end?
Bye, Mom saying
Always-
bye.
Well, I think that's it. Let's go. Bye.
Literally,
See y'all
like,
next week. I'm going to go do something else.
I like that ending.
you're so nuts.
You got to get a catchphrase.
Okay.
We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, well, and tonight we are going out on the town.
We are?
I mean, I never go out.
I wouldn't call it on the town.
Where are we going?
So there's this new place.
Going to a weed restaurant. You want to come?
Oh.
No, you do.
You're trying to kill me.
It's supposed to be so fab and so chic, and it's like a little restaurant with amazing food, and you can smoke pot at the table. And guess what it's connected to? Next across the street, the Pleasure Chat.
Is that a strip club?
That's
It's like a sex store.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've never been to one.
A sex store?
I don't think so.
Not even
ever.
like a hustler?
No.
Oh
Huh.
wow.
I've been to Victoria's Secret.
That does not count.
No.
Okay, this will be fun.
Yeah.
Film all of this.
Oh,
please.
you have to
So
film the whole
I'm
thing.
excited. It's like a field trip that
Yeah.
like just really wants to go on.
Okay, great. Because
All right.
because you've been complaining about it, but
well,
love
I
it.
said instead of going at 6:45,
Oh,
could we
yeah.
go at 4:45?
She's
She's
and then I'd
complaining
really
about
be
the
excited.
time
Got it.
I'm not a late night kind of gal.
Yeah.
because 6:45 is late.
I'm in bed by 9 o'clock.
Me too. I love it so much.
We love you, stoners.
Yep.
Bye.
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 This podcast has been brought to you by Podcast Nation and Hopetown Entertainment.